My roommate had a hidden camera in the bathroom.
Something truly bizarre unfolded in my life recently. I'm an 18-year-old guy sharing an apartment with my 19-year-old roommate, and we've been best friends for a solid 4 years. We decided to move to a new country for our studies. Now, in our bathroom, we have this clothes basket where we toss our laundry. It's seen better days with a hole on the side, but hey, it's just a basket, right? So, the strangeness began when I lost my wallet one night around 2 a.m. In my search, I had a hunch that maybe it ended up in the laundry basket since that's around the time I usually head to the bathroom as part of my nightly routine.
My roommate tends to go in before and after me.
On this particular night, he went in first, and as I rummaged through the basket looking for my wallet, I stumbled upon his phone discreetly recording through the hole, directly aimed at the toilet. I fished out the phone, discovered it had been recording for about 1 minute and 40 seconds, roughly the time I entered after him, and he hastily grabbed the phone, deleted the video, and claimed it was an accident. His excuse was that he was recording himself in the mirror, and the phone accidentally fell into the basket. I contested, pointing out that the phone was perfectly positioned on the hole with the front camera intentionally on.
Despite this strange incident, we went to bed. However, he sent me 4 messages urging me to come talk about it. I obliged, and he insisted he was indeed recording himself. Skeptical but tired, I decided to sleep on it. The next morning, he hadn't mentioned a word about the incident. As I reflected on the situation, I couldn't shake the question: if he was genuinely filming himself, why the need to hide the phone? Now, every conversation with him makes my heart race, and the mystery remains unsettling. What's the weirdest thing you've done that you can only tell people anonymously?
1. All throughout middle school, there was someone who tucked unwrapped Hostess devil dogs into the toilet paper dispensers in the bathrooms, so that when you pulled some toilet paper out, the devil dog would fall out into your hand.
We had to have an assembly about it.
That person was me.
2. Was drunk at an escape room with co-workers.
It was an extreme one where you were handcuffed the entire time. I decided in my drunken state that it would be badass to dislocate my thumb and slip off the cuffs like the movies.
It wasn't.
We got kicked out, my co-workers were weirded out, and I had to go to the hospital. 3. Stole over 1,000 wafers from church because I really liked the communion wafers and didn't know where else to get them. I felt really blessed and cursed for a long time. 4. I found a dead rat in a field when I was younger and kissed it. BC. I wanted to say goodbye. 5. When I was walking to school one morning, I saw a kid, 7 or 8 years old, kicking a dog. I ran over and kicked the kid and asked him how it felt. He ran off and no one saw. Still not sorry. 6. I was extremely socially isolated as a child and tried to make friends with the coyotes who lived in the woods by our home. I caught one in a snare and fed and kept her.
I wanted a friend. What's the weirdest thing you've done that you can only tell people anonymously?
1. My wife and her best friend picked me up from a frat party blackout drunk. Then they helped me take a dookie on the toilet, wiped my bum and then gave me a shower and put me to bed in my birthday suit.
Don't remember any of it.
2. One time I went outside at like 2 a.m. and put the garden hose nozzle into my bum and sprayed some water into it, then I farted it out onto the lawn.
Basically gave myself an enema with a garden hose. I did this because I was bored. My neighbor saw me and told my dad.
3. I put the handle of a 10-inch telescopic police baton up my bum and haven't been the same since. 4. Drove my car into a tree, no seatbelt, trying to unalive myself, failed and ended up with a badly broken right arm and left hip like total hip replacement.
Everyone in my family thinks it was some accident and I've been too embarrassed to admit it wasn't.
5. Met a woman online when I was 23.
She was 57. We hooked up a few times.
In my defense, she looked younger than her age and was very attractive. I stopped hooking up with her when I found a woman my own age I started a real relationship with. The old lady was very clear she was just having fun, which I was okay with. 6. Gathered apple seeds cause I heard they had cyanide in them back when I was trying to find ways to self-eat.
Wives of Reddit, what is a love-making fantasy you could never tell to your husband? 1. My husband is so sweet and gentle. I want some throwdown. 2. I played a game of poker with my girlfriend for this. The winner got their wish. I lost. My girlfriend first had me dance in my birthday suit and then tied me down and did stuff. 3. I want to watch him with another woman. I've had that fantasy with every man I've loved. I keep it a fantasy because I know how jealous I get. 4. For him to watch me and another woman. 5. Wanting him to wee on me in the shower. 6. My husband has always been pretty physically fit, and overall I like that. But sometimes I wish he was chubby, not obese but something similar to Tony Soprano in season 1. There is just something kind of appealing about a guy with a bit of chubbiness rather than barely any body fat and hard muscle. Sometimes it feels like I am cuddling with a statue. 7. I'd like for my husband to initiate in a public place, a bit of under-the-table action before leading me to a bathroom or secluded place, and he takes me without a word exchanged and then we carry on as if nothing happened. The less control I have the better. What is the worst reason you've heard for cheating on someone? 1. He wanted to try something new. He cheated on me with his ex. 2. Just in case he would ever cheat on me, I cheated first, so it's his fault for possibly cheating on me the first place. 3. I briefly lost my love-making drive while grieving the death of a parent. 4. Ex cheated on me because I cheated on her in a dream she had and was sure it was a sign that I was unfaithful in real life. 5. They never said it was a closed marriage. 6. My cousin's ex said she felt she had to hook with the guy working the front register at Walgreens because of the events of 9/11. I'm not even kidding. This was on 9/11. She apparently was so upset she staggered into Walgreens and fell on the first willy she saw. 7. You didn't show me enough attention the past few years. You didn't take me anywhere. I'm the baby I need attention. I worked 3 jobs, played with the kids, and finished a degree. During COVID everywhere was closed. 8. It was an accident. 9. To have a reason to end the relationship. What are some crazy things you have heard? What would you say to your ex if they suddenly showed up at your door? 1. It ranges from come on in and make yourself comfortable to get the duck out of here, depending on which one shows up. 2. Honestly, I apologize. I know dealing with my prior alcoholism must have been a nightmare. I regret causing you and anyone else pain and hope you are happy. I am a year into sobriety and can understand why it ended. I wish you well. 3. Scream. They've passed. 4. Wait, if you're here, who's running hell? 5. She's here. I can smell the sulfur coming from her cloven hooves. 6. I lost weight. You seem to have found it. 7. Miss the big bitty goth girlfriend thighs now? 8. Begone Satan. Throw some water on her and run. 9. Which one? Some of them I'd be elated. Some of them I'd be upset or sad to see and have so many questions. One of them owes me a hoodie. 10. Sorry, I'm no longer running a shelter for bum men. You can try next door. 11. If you want a duck we can, but no getting emotionally attached. 12. Hear them out and evaluate their mental state. They're a great but deeply traumatized person.
What is a substance you'll never do again and why? 1. Synthetic weed. I saw my best friend turn into the devil once and never did it again. 2. Meth. I just didn't like being high for that long and not being able to sleep. Then feeling like ass for 2 days. 3. Meth. Did it one time at a party and I completely understand how people get hooked. Everyone sees the end result, but doesn't realize people start doing it because it makes you feel amazing. Never again. 4. Ketamine. Spent an hour spilling my heart out to a woman I barely knew and it was her place so she couldn't just leave. Sorry Carly. Hope you're doing good. 5. Any, at this point. Over 2 years completely clean. However, I've done basically everything except shoot heroin, and did a nasal drip of liquid fentanyl once because it was medically dosed, and I can say with confidence that even disregarding my cleanness now, there's 2 drugs I'd never do again. Crack. Absolutely terrible and stupid drug. I don't know why anyone would want to do that to themselves. It is overbearing and unpleasant and makes you super irrational and stupid. PCP. I actually did this in small doses a few times and enjoyed it, but after too much to drink one night I was really craving some ketamine, and thought oh well they're supposed to be similar and did a whole line, had crystal and PCP. Well, in tiny doses it's similar, in large doses it's not. Total break from reality and blacked out for multiple hours. When I came to again I was more depressed than I'd ever been in my life. 6. Cocaine. Every bad decision I've ever made has come from doing too much blow. You feel invincible until the next morning when you have the worst hangover of your life and anxiety that you were a complete ass. Never want that feeling again, so we'll never do it again. What is a substance you'll never do again and why? 1. Xanax. I feel totally out of control of my mind and body and don't remember anything. Kind of a terrifying drug. 2. Alcohol. 2 years and counting and lives much better. 3. Hydrocodone or any prescribed painkiller. Got prescribed some after an ACL surgery at 15 and I'd sneak one into my pocket before school to take at lunch after I wasn't feeling much pain anymore because I felt like I was on cloud 9 for the rest of the school day. I recognized what I was getting myself into after a few days and threw away what was left of the bottle. For nitrous oxide because it's easy to access, cheap, and very effective, but also very addicting. 5. Nutmeg. Ordinary spice aisle nutmeg very much gets you high if you take like 3 tablespoons. The high is similar to weed but not quite as psychedelic or euphoric. The main reason I would never do it again is it lasts like 30 hours and makes you tired as hell. I took it on a Friday when I was teen and basically spent most of the weekend sleeping, waking up every few hours for like an hour of groggy activity. 6. Magic mushrooms. The last time was so perfect I don't want to ruin the memories. 7. Tobacco, in any form whatsoever. Just isn't worth it. 8. E-cut with meth. Meth is nasty and gross and after the E ended the meth hung out for hours and hours. It's medically impossible for me to have lovemaking. I suffer from a condition known as vaginismus, a situation where my pelvic floor muscles involuntarily tense during any attempt of lovemaking. The initial experience of trying to engage in lovemaking was emotionally distressing. I found myself crying uncontrollably. Disappointingly, my partner expressed dissatisfaction and suggested that I should approach him again once I'm fixed. Multiple encounters with different individuals revealed a disturbing pattern where most ignored my pleas to refrain from attempting lovemaking despite my clear communication about the pain it caused. Even in the context of relationships, when I sought support for treatment, none of my partners were willing to assist. I invested a significant amount of money in seeking professional help, consulting specialist doctors and experimenting with various treatments, including over-the-counter and prescription pain medications, muscle relaxers, anxiety medications, topical anesthetics, physical therapy, therapeutic counseling, and even practices like yoga. Nerve blocks and Botox injections emerged as potential next steps, but financial constraints and the cost of anesthesia made these options inaccessible. Eventually, for the sake of my mental well-being, I had to abandon these efforts years ago. The realization that I am unable to partake in what is considered a basic bodily function, engaging in lovemaking, leaves me feeling defective and burdened. Please help me.